Let's welcome in now Marcus Semien, who joins us on MLB Tonight. Marcus, Fran Charles, Dan Plesac, and Tom Verducci. Congratulations on the deal with Toronto. Why the Blue Jays for you?
Well, I think that this free agency for a lot of guys was confusing. We're trying to figure out where we fit in the market, and everything kind of came to a head a couple weeks ago. And after talking to Ross and Charlie, the manager, it's a place that I really wanted to be, and I like the young core they have. With especially the young infielders. It looks like they're still adding some other pieces, veteran guys too. So things are looking up in Toronto.
Marcus, you had some very successful seasons as a member of the Oakland A's. Was there a time in your tenure with the A's where you thought you were going to be there for a while?
Well, I mean, 6 years is a lot for an Oakland A. I saw a lot of guys, Sonny Grays and other guys get traded before they made it to free agency. So I'm tremendously blessed to be, to make it all the way to free agency with my hometown team, 3 times in the playoffs. And, I thought possibly something may happen after that. But, we made it to free agency and looked at all the deals, and Toronto was the best fit for my family and I, and here we are.
Hey, Marcus, it's Tom Verducci. I remember talking to you a couple of years ago in your breakout offensive season. You talked about winning the full count at bats. I think your plate discipline was really off the charts. It really improved quickly. And you even did that last year, even though your overall numbers maybe weren't where they wanted. So explain to me kind of your progression the last couple of years as an offensive player.
Yeah, that 3-2 count is important, especially because a lot of the league throws good off-speed pitches in that count. It used to be primarily a fastball count where you can kind of look out over the plate and hit something up the middle, but times have changed. A lot of times, good pitchers will try and make you chase still on that count. So just being able to look in one spot and kind of shrink the zone and see the ball up is usually the way to get it done. But, you're right. Last year was tough, just with everybody's routine and playing through injuries and just different things. The pandemic itself was tough for a lot of people. So, I'm looking forward to a full season, and I've had a great offseason, so I think everything's going to get back to that 2019.
You mentioned Charlie Montoya. Has anyone discussed with you about playing second base? And if so, what do you think the most difficult part of that transition is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit in our Zoom call before I agreed to a contract, and they said, hey, we love Bo Bichette. He's been hitting well for us. We want to give him a shot at shortstop. What do you think about second or third? And I said, I really love shortstop, but if I had to choose, I would choose second base, because in the shift with Oakland, I played over there a lot, even worked on turning double plays a lot. So that's something that I will be working on, every day in spring training, is that double play turn, and just working on my craft, which is something I love to do anyway.
So, Marcus, that reminds me, a couple of years ago, the Yankees signed DJ LeMahieu. People said, where's he going to play? And the Yankees said, just bring as many gloves as you can to spring training. We'll figure it out. How many gloves you bringing with you to spring training?
Well, I think I'll just bring my one, because that size glove fits short, third, and second for me. So they didn't say anything about outfield or first base, so just one.
Marcus, I know a couple of years ago, you've worked really hard on your defense. And I know, Ron Washington gets a lot of credit for helping you kind of achieve the defensive success that you have. Explain to the folks at home why it was so important for you to spend that kind of time and really, flip the perception of you as a defensive player.
Yeah, I think no player wants to go out there and make errors. And yes, that happened a lot early in my career. It still happens today, but just the way that I bounce back from making errors is totally different than it was in those first 2 months of 2015. And Wash had so much to do with that. Just building a routine that got my mechanics in the right place. And then building that confidence. The confidence came from actually doing it in the game and being successful in the game. And year after year, I started to work on more and more things to elevate my defensive play. And I like where I'm at today. So anything I've learned, I think second base and short, you can still work on the same things besides the double play turn. So I'm going to continue those things.
Marcus, 2020 was such a crazy year with COVID. Spring training started and stopped. Do you feel you're at a better spot right now than you were, say, a year ago at this time?
Definitely. Not just from a fitness aspect, but just with my swing. My arm feels great. I've been working on everything defensively I need to work on. I mean, a lot of guys show up to spring training and the first grounder they take is in spring, but with restrictions kind of being easier to get stuff done now in this pandemic, I've been able to take grounders and do everything I need to do this offseason.
Well, congratulations on the deal with the Blue Jays, Marcus, and we look forward to watching you do your thing. Blue Jays look like they're turning it up. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the AL East.